So, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Turn 5 podcast, where this week it's just me and Ben. Um, I'd
Hey,
like to be able to tell you where the other two are, but I can't because we don't know. So, there we go. But
no,
me and Ben will be covering the last week's worth of news and teeing you up as we head finally into the Formula One season with the first deliveries being launched. Um, on that note, let's start with the first piece of news. On the 25th of January, Haas announced that they were going to be doing a livery reveal event. That event will take place on the 31st. Well, actually, I say it's taking place. It will have already taken place by the time this episode
yeah,
goes out. It was today, quote unquote. It was at 2 p.m. UK time. It was at 9 a.m. Eastern time. We will obviously be covering all of that next week when we actually have seen everything. Um, but yeah, MoneyGram and Haas are having a show for once. Editor's note: the event, quote unquote, was just them posting it on Twitter. Yeah, I did a good one there. So
but actually, I think they had a show last year. I think they were the first to reveal, but it had a huge Russian flag over it.
true. And I don't really think many people were bothered by the show because it was just like,
Yeah,
haha, here comes the Russia mobile.
he's still here. Oh no!
Yeah.
But then he went. So
Yeah. Then he went and the delivery
yeah,
changed. That was what, second day of testing it changed, didn't it? So
yeah.
that was hilarious. Um, yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's Haas. I don't expect anything too radical with delivery. The only radical thing they ever did was when they were bought out by
Yeah,
Bad
but
Santa.
they could go to like the grey and black again, but
True.
obviously we don't know.
But with the color scheme of the title sponsor, I'd expect them to sort of stay where they are, to be honest.
Yeah,
So we shall see, or we you will have seen if you watched it. If not, go and find it. It's online somewhere now. Um, After this, obviously, we'll only take another like 15 minutes. Let's be real. There's not a lot of news this week. The next piece of news, we're hopping back over the pond to Europe. Alfa Romeo have a new title sponsor in the form of Stake, um, replacing Orlen as the title sponsor. Don't know how well this bodes for Robert Kubica in his test and reserve driver role, given that that was kind of all he was there for was the money that Orlen was bringing in.
mm.
No offense to Robert, but was he really going to get back in the car at any stage?
You don't know, do you?
I mean, given
Maybe
that the
the
other option
race.
is given that the other option is to put in Teo Porcher,
You're probably putting Pocher.
yeah, yeah, you're going to put someone in with a who's got many years ahead of them instead of maybe one or two.
Yeah, it's a sad career for Kubica because it's like what could have been.
It's always going to be one of those what ifs, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, what if he hadn't gone rallying for those years, just stayed in Formula One?
Mm.
So, still, we'll see. There's no news on what position he will or won't be in for this year yet. So, as far as I'm concerned, he's still there. Unless he snuck quietly out the back door at the end of last season and nobody said anything.
Yeah. He'll probably get announced next week as an Aston Martin reserve driver. There'll be
Aston
about
Martin Orlan.
45 of them. Yeah.
Cognizant Aston Martin Orlan Racing Team. That'd be a mouthful, wouldn't it? Right. Sticking with Alfa Romeo, the new team principal was announced. The new team principal is Alessandro Aluni Bravi. He's been in the Sauber group since 2017. Before that, he was the team principal and like managing director of GP2 team Trident, because it was GP2 back then. That was before they brought all of those under the Formula brand. Um, so he's got some experience under his belt. He's got experience with managing Robert Kubica. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes. They've they've obviously thought about this very very carefully because they didn't announce it any sooner.
Yeah,
So,
they've had time to think about it and go through.
well,
So
considering Fred Vasseur leaving was one of the first announcements in silly season.
yeah,
So, but that means the full grid of drivers and team principals is now complete. We have all of them. Hooray! No more silly season. Silly season is over.
until someone's not doing good enough and they get sacked.
Red Bull. It's always Red Bull when it's like mid season, isn't it? So
They'll be like, oh, we got Ricardo.
slot him in.
Yep.
So um and then sticking with Alfa Romeo, Audi have bought a minority stake in Sauber ahead of their takeover plans for 2026. So this is sort of the first step in the long line of we're taking over this team.
Yeah.
What that means at the end of this season, I don't know, because isn't Sauber's bid running out at the end of this year? I'm pretty sure Sauber's like
Yeah.
sponsorship is until the end of this season. So
Was it still Alfa Romeo Sauber? Because that
it's
was going, wasn't it?
yeah, I don't know. That's the problem.
Kudos. Yeah, because it's still Alfa Romeo F team stake for now. Team stake, unreal. So at the end of this season, Alfa Romeo leave.
Right. So it will just go back to being Sauber.
Yeah.
If they don't find anyone else.
Unless Audi want to swoop in early.
BMW surprise takeover. Flashbacks to the early 2000s. Robert Kubica has signed.
It's broken. Porsche takeover.
I
Add that
mean,
Audi. Porsche Audi Sauber F1 team.
Oh god, with a minority sponsor from BMW.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. I don't imagine them to just suddenly not have a title sponsor.
Well,
It'll
they currently be Sauber stake.
yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
significantly more backing from Alfa Romeo than there is from like any of the other actual just sponsors.
They're normally sponsored by another manufacturer as well, aren't they? Because they were
Mm.
BMW Sauber.
Yeah,
And then
they were
who
BMW Sauber for
else?
a long time.
Yeah, there's Sauber Petronas.
Well, they went oil.
Yep. With a classic Felipe Massa. Then there was Sauber till 2018 when Alfa Romeo turned up. Then before that, they were Red Bull Alliance and Ford Engines.
They were independent between 2010 and 2018.
Yep.
So it was just Sauber. There was no manufacturer tagged onto the front of that. But
Checo Perez lighting it up.
yeah. So how long have they been with Ferrari engines now? 20. So they've been with Ferrari engines till 2010. Because they were the BMW factory team.
Yep. That car is so nice as well.
What, the old BMW one?
Yeah,
Mm. It's one of my favorites. Then again, a lot of the cars from that era are one of my
yeah.
favorites.
It's just every car from the
F
2007-8 era.
2004.
Insert BAR from like 2000 when they had a half and half car.
Have we got any other news?
Oh, there is NASA. This is technically you could latch on to say this is to F1 because it's got Jensen Button involved,
Okay.
but NASCAR
Yeah.
are joining Le Mans 24-hour. So NASCAR making a Chevrolet Camaro, I want to say, and it's to do with it. But their team's at Garage 56, I want to say, and they're entering, yeah, Garage 56. They're entering with a modified next gen Chevrolet Camaro. So a NASCAR is going to turn left and right.
I mean, I don't think it's going to do very well.
But the team is Jensen, NASCAR Cup title winner Jimmy Johnson,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and where's the other guy?
yeah. It's just those two.
Yeah, it says free driver lineup, and it only has two names. So,
Oh,
although one of the test drivers was Mike Rockenfeller, so it could be him,
could
but
be.
I don't know.
Who knows?
But yeah, we're going to see a Chevrolet in Le Mans.
That I mean,
I'd back it to break down. So
is this the first in their sort of look? We're a really serious racing team, Formula One. Let us in, sort of thing. We don't
God
just
knows.
do ovals. I don't know. Like, I find it really annoying that it's the teams that are blocking new teams being added
Yeah,
by virtue of the fact that we'll get a smaller slice of the pie. The pie has grown,
and it will keep on growing and growing
and if
unless
you
you
add,
stop it growing.
well, yeah, if you add more teams to it, then it's going to bring in more viewers. Like adding an American team will bring in more American viewers,
Yeah,
which will lead to a greater revenue from America, which will then lead to a greater overall value of the sport, which means that the sport can increase the prize payouts to compensate for the fact that there is an 11th team. I'm no genius, but I put that together in 4 minutes flat. And yet
we
these
used
teams
to
are
have,
blocking it.
yeah, like
We used to have 26 cars on the grid.
2014 and all. Yeah, there was like 24 cars then,
Yeah.
and that was no problem apart from the fact that they were going redundant.
Bankrupt. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was the only issue. Nowadays, teams are actually financially responsible enough to stay afloat.
yeah, and we got the um price cap now, so
Exactly. So nobody's going to
to
be
help even more.
overspending to the point that they can't compete. So who knows?
Yeah, we can only dream.
True.
Oh yeah, there's also um FIA boss Mohammed bin Salim's beliefs do not reflect the sexist comments that he made
Mm.
years and years ago.
Oh, I did forget about that one. That was a great,
It's,
great read. That
it's
what an
brilliant.
idiot.
You know, he's changed as a man, so you know we've got to respect that if he don't whatsoever.
Cancelled. Next.
That's always a good luck.
All the best. You've just been removed from the internet.
It probably doesn't help that he keeps picking tracks from the middle, what is
Middle
it?
East.
Middle East, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not really backing up his comment, is it?
No, no, considering their beliefs on women are even worse than what his own were. Yeah. I know F1 is supposed to be a global sport, but like there's a significant increase in the concentration of races in that one area of the world, and not a significant increase in races in other areas of the world. Where's the African race? Where's
Please.
another South American race? You know?
Hmm.
F1 is now at the point where it is a popular enough sport that it can probably pay to renovate a couple of circuits.
Yeah. Even then, wasn't Mugello like FIA second grade when we went there?
So everything has to be improved. So it was grade two. That was what its official license. They made some changes to the barriers before F1 went there, and that allowed it to get a grade one. So it wasn't a lot of changes that needed to be made. It was a high grade circuit anyway.
Yeah.
Because there are circuits that were like, they were designed with the intention of getting a grade one, but only got a grade two sort of thing. So that they just need to make minor alterations and then they get grade one.
Yeah.
So
Who knows?
time will
We
tell.
can... I want Kailami on the calendar.
I want to go back to Kailami.
I've heard about the history about it now, and I'm like, I want to go there.
So, I mean, and I think given how popular Formula One is in like Brazil, why not have another South American race?
Yeah. But what? There's Argentina again.
Yeah. Argentina is probably the best
Yeah,
candidate. Let's be real. Because
probably. Yeah.
their circuit has, well, it was the most used out of the other South American circuits. So
Hmm.
we'll see.
Race in
It's
Canada. We already do. I'm an idiot.
the circuit Gilles Villeneuve says hello.
Yeah.
And everyone in the Lance Stroll grandstand is now booing you.
Why is there a Lance Stroll grandstand?
Because he was the only Canadian there.
That shouldn't matter.
We need a goatee stand.
It doesn't deserve a grandstand.
Lance Stroll does not deserve a grandstand. It should be goatee fees, let's be honest.
He could have a seat. He can be a Lance Stroll seat, not a grandstand.
It's the 18th seat.
Yeah.
And that's it. Lance Stroll. Boom. He can have that. He can have that column of seats. Every 18 is
The
Lance
18th
Stroll.
row.
But no, it should be goatee fee stand. Let's be honest. He's decided races and championships.
Yeah. Fair play to him.
So, I think that about wraps up for this week of news. Uh, so we'll bring you our coverage of, well, our reviews of the Haas livery and the Red Bull livery, because Red Bull are launching theirs on the first,
On the Friday, isn't it?
on the 3rd of Feb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Friday. Oh, I can watch it. On the 3rd of February, they're taking over New York for something. Don't know what. Who knows? It could be just, I guess they're just going to show the car, maybe drive around a little bit.
But show last year's car.
Yeah. It's literally going to look the same. I don't expect anything different. Let's be honest. So,
But they put out a tweet saying blank canvas, and it was white with a
with a blue bull on it, yeah.
Yeah.
And bull. It's they get what they're going to do is they're going to show that car that's been like scrawled on by random people, and then they're going to go, psych, that's not the car, and then unveil last year's car.
Yeah. Or cool.
That's it. So yeah, I don't know. We'll bring you pictures and coverage of that next week, along with anything else that decides to bother to happen.
McLaren got a podium in Formula E as well.
Yeah, we will talk about Formula E,
We don't
but
care about that,
but
but McLaren got
well,
a
I
podium,
did watch
so
a bit of it, so I will admit I'm watching more now.
I've seen the pole lap and that was it.
Oh, fair. No, I saw a bit of the race, but I was at work, so
So,
yeah, we'll bring it. We'll bring you more of that when Chris actually decides to show up.
yeah, it'd be nice for him to show up actually, so
Says
I
this
can
is
actually
his.
talk through what's going on with streaming.
Yeah,
Oh,
says it's his podcast. Doesn't even show up.
yeah.
It's broken.
Anyway, we will talk you through all of that next week. Thank you for listening and or watching. All the best. Gonna sign off with the
All the
stream
best.
outro. All the bloody best. See you
Ciao,
later.
ciao.
Goodbye.